driver's perspective. You know what time it is? Smashing, dashing, sliding on through with a whole lot of energy. So please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support your boy, and hit that bell notification for future fire content. As you guys can tell, man, Flaco's out the hole, man, and here's how the story goes, guys. So, leaving that MDU detention unit, got 2 RBs in the mouth, some RBs in the nose, a 4-banger tomahawk in my pocket, and a banger hooped ready to drop that I made took me about 7 days to make. Going back out to the yard, man, and making a lot, man. A lot of nerves, stressed out, a lot of anxiety, man, not knowing what's going to happen, man. Came up the MTU as I'm escorted, hit the yard. When I hit the yard, I'm on the yard with treacherous Mexican mafia, the ferocious Aryan Brotherhood, and all kinds of other active cats. And that's not what happened, guys. So here's what's really going on, man. I'm not hitting no GP yard, man. They placed me in protective custody PC, man. I found out Monday the 19th, and then they just transferred me. Basically, the next day they transferred me. And basically everything was already known by the SSU here. All the gang coordinators, they took me out for an interview last week, and you know, they knew about everything back home. They talked to the guys back home. They found I was a dropout, and that there was a hit on me and all kinds of bullshit, man. So then what was interesting, man, is they went into all the stuff that, you know, other channels had put out there, man. You know what I'm saying? They said, you know, that there's other channels out there that put out videos about that, what yard you were going to go to, that you were going to get hit. And they used all that in my 805 packet, man, to also put me in protective custody, man. And they just basically told me that, you know, whether it's GP or full HP, that they don't feel that there'd be a liability issue to put me out there. And to be honest with you, I didn't disagree with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting older. You know what I'm saying? I was GP for 10 months. I was out there in those yards like I said I was going to do. And they're going to place me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, being that I want to go home, being I want to stay out the drama, being I got a taste of how it is nowadays, which is really watered down. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's going on that happened, you know, started in 2011. And, you know, even if I was active, I wouldn't be on these yards. Put it that way. You know, I already came across one homeboy that was here when homeboys were getting booked for what happened in the pens. I found out who the dudes that got booked. One of them was C-Spouse from Morgan. Not from Morgan, he got booked in Morgan after the riot between Northerners and Southerners. And wow, they're not letting any of that 50 yards or XNF or anybody else to go at one time. And if, like I said before in a previous video, if you're in North Daniel, you're going to have to conform to whatever they tell you. You know, for a minute, almost were getting booked on these yards. Right. And that's the same information I got from a Southerner, man, but I didn't know it was so far back as far as an incident happened in 2011. Apparently, there was about 3 of them that got booked. Because in the aftermath of a lot of this stuff that had happened, they had separated a lot of the Sureños, but they kept some of these AZ cats, and the AZM they were getting it too. And I found that kind of interesting. And so now, like I said, that's why they were tripping off me. I don't even know if they knew what my situation was, because they asked me, what's your standings with the NF back home? Whether they know about stuff back home, or maybe they thought I was active, because, you know, before that, the homeboy had got at me like, you know, who knows you from back home? And I said, why? They said, well, there's supposed to be a big homie over here from California. Because I was thinking maybe that was you. Because he understood, like, my stilo, and, you know, he was, you know, in the process of getting patched in as an MA member. But despite that, we were really cool, you know. And, you know, now, like I said, they put me in PC. You know, there's even if I wanted to go back to GP, which, to be honest with you, I don't want to go back to GP. There's nothing out there for me. It ain't no different whether I'm here or there. I'm sticking to myself, or I'm doing my own time. But they're not going to. Once the information was revealed by other people, and once they found out about the YouTube stuff and all this other stuff, man, there's no way that they were going to put me back on these yards, man. The interesting thing is that I had just got a message recently from someone, I'm not going to say who they were, but another YouTuber, man, that said, you know, you're too old for this, bro. You have nothing to prove. If you stay out there, it ain't worth your visa. It ain't worth your life. And already at that time, you know, nobody's knowing what was going on. The way that they basically, that was the result of it. That's what. To sit there and argue, right? Say, no, I don't want to. There's no way that they're going to put me back on GP. And they're not going to put me on full HP, because they said that full HP thinks that they're active still, and that there's more gangs, and I'm probably an easy target. But I'm basically on my own. So now a lot of people said eventually they thought people thought that when I got to the system that I wasn't going to go listen to PC. No, I didn't. I didn't tell them anything. I tried to lay low. Whatever was going to happen was going to happen. But now, time and seeing the things that I've seen and just getting real with myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I don't have to prove that to nobody. You know, these yards, whether you're on GP, PC, full HP, wherever you're at, man, it's dangerous either way. Prison's prison. I can't tell the difference between a fucking PC yard and a GP yard. I swear to God, that's trying to trick me out because it's the same type of bag. Not the bag to get money in their pocket, but that bag to get high. I've never seen so many youngsters getting high, getting spiced out, having what you call episodes, and getting escorted off the yard. So that's what the situation is with me, man. And like I said, it ain't something that I'm here to and you know what I'm saying? I've always been transparent. I've always been real, and sometimes I think I'm too real. It's just like when I was in the county when I first got there, people were like, no, he's not GP. And you had about several people from AZ that confirmed that, yeah, he is GP. You know what I'm saying?
Hello?
Hello? So now the good thing about it is that I get to start working on myself, man, and my spiritual program's up, and I want to get back to the person I was, a better version of the person I was before a lot of drama started happening in my life, man. Like I said, ego is the number one killer for any man, man. It'll when you feel your ego's been shattered, when you feel you've been unjustly fucking targeted, or you know what I'm saying, you know, lied upon, or people conniving or backstabbing or whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? You start to react, especially when you start getting high and you relapse, you know? And, you know, I realize that I don't have nothing to prove to nobody, man. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, where I go from here, who knows? You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm going to be working on trying to get an interstate compact transfer, you know what I'm saying? And I just got to pay the money. I got to find someone out there, or they got to find someone out there that will do the transfer. And, but for now, I'm just kicking it to myself, guys. I'm not really trying to interact with too many people. I'm trying to observe everything like you know, like how I would if I really hit a GP mainline like I have been. It's the reason why I've been able to survive everywhere I go. I know how to wiggle, I know how to move, I know how to survive. I have people who gravitate towards me, and I find those that are resourceful to me that could be beneficial or an asset, you know, and just basically a mutual understanding. If not, I step away. You know, there's nothing else for me but to do time right now and hopefully, you know, get home. You know what I'm saying? I got some health issues I recently found out about, but I'm doing pretty good with those health issues. You know, they're not all SP. They're actually putting in PC. And the thing is, like I said, I'm going to reiterate and continue to repeat myself, but even if I wanted to, the information that they were able to gather after everything happened in Cheyenne and whatnot, I mean, they told me stuff that I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? When they came in and asked me to interview me, and they got me fucking approved fast. Most of the time, after they do an investigation, it'll take 4 weeks. I got interviewed on a Tuesday. That Monday, I was approved. So they expedited it, but it took them about, 46 days to conduct an investigation on me. Where, you know, to get all the information, all the stuff that they heard, be able to confirm it, check with their resources and stuff like that. And they did their homework, you know. But I thought it was interesting, how they brought up, you know, some other channels. I'm not going to mention it, you know, small channels that were from AZ and stuff like that. That, oh yeah, he's not going to hit a GP, or oh, he's going to get booked. You know, the thing about it, man, and I don't mean to chew my own horn, is I did hit the GP yard and I didn't get booked, man. The interesting thing is they came and tipped their hand to me. You know what I'm saying? They basically tipped their hand, and then I got told off, basically. You know, and that just tells you how things have changed. Maybe it was just that yard, because I talked to people that were on that yard, and a lot of people said that the way this yard's operating is not how it's supposed to be. Nobody's in contact with contact. They're not in any contact with anything on them, so they're getting away with doing certain things. They just need people anywhere in the system. So for now, this is my situation. I'm going to keep on pushing. You know, wherever they send me, if they send me back to California, maybe 2 years, 3 years from now, hopefully it happens, man. Like I said, I've never ever disrespected any of the SRI movements or whatever movements you want to call them. I don't something about against them. I on that side, whether you're active, PC, or whatnot, I base it on the individual who I interact with, how they get down in it. Just because I'm no longer active in the mix, and I haven't been active in the mix, doesn't mean that I pick up PC Tennessee, because I've never been like that. And I'm not going to change that. I still have morals. The sober version of Flaco, the one that has his head on straight, is one that's real disciplined, real intelligent, and I know how to survive. I know how to do what I need to do on a daily basis, man. So I know everybody's been waiting to hear what's really going on. There was a lot of offers, which you heard, and I hate to see people. A lot of people tried to fucking suppress that and try to deny that it happened, but I'm getting messages from people telling me, like, dude, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You need to go PC. And like I said, a man's ego, and resentments and whatnot are the things that we have to get past in order to accept things how they really are, and that this life really, there's nothing good that comes from living a prison life. There's nothing good that comes with being a convict. It's about changing that mentality, and it's about pushing forward and start to find things that are going to be more lucrative for your future. It's better to be out there with my kids. The one thing I can say is, and it sucks because my kids, you miss your kids. I got a lot of time to miss my kids and my grandkids and a lot of stuff, right? And that's why I'm trying to get back to California. But in a lot of senses, man, I was out for basically from 2007 to 2023, 16 years. There were some ups and downs. There was some positive stuff that I was able to accomplish. There was some setbacks along that ways. But I was out there for my youth. I was out there when I was young. And, in a lot of sense, you can sit there and say, well, at least I came to this when I'm old, and
you have 1 minute left.
Someday. And with that said, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys respect the push I'm still trying to push. I want to get back into positivity, but I still got a lot of issues I need to work on in myself. And with that said, I send my love and respect to everybody out there, all the other channels, much respect. And like I said, I don't hold any animosity or any issues towards anybody, any channels or anything. It's time to move forward. I'm out.